In part 1 of this tutorial, I'll be introducing enter and exit motions, which allow you to easily make a character, prop, or text bubble enter or exit a scene using a selection of different motion effects. Before starting, it's good practice to make sure all the elements in your scenes are finalized before adding enter and exit motions, as this will help avoid time-consuming editing of motion effects later on. The Enter-Exit tab can be found in the Character panel and is only visible when you have either a character, prop, or text bubble selected in the current scene. So I'll place a character in my scene and select it. The Character panel appears on the left of the video maker. I'll select the Enter-Exit tab to bring it to the front. As no Enter-Exit motions have been applied to anything in the scene, there's just a button labeled Add Motion on the tab. I'll add a motion to our character by clicking the button. As you can see, a range of settings are now displayed. We'll look at these settings in more detail in part 2, but for now, I'll highlight just a few. The Motion menu determines whether your character will enter into the scene or exit from the scene. There's also a movement option, which will be looked at in a later tutorial. For now, I'll leave this option set to enter. The Style menu is where you choose all the different enter-exit motions. Click the down arrow on the box to open the menu, then use the scroll bar to move up and down the list. You should try all the items to see what they do, but for now, I'll select the hand slide motion. At the bottom of the Enter-Exit tab, all the enter-exit motions in the scene are now listed. The current motion being worked on will be selected. Before we finish, I'll add an exit motion to my character by clicking the plus sign icon at the top of the motions list. As you can see, a new movement motion is added to the list, and all the settings above the list are now the settings for our currently selected movement motion. I want an exit motion, so I'll change the motion box to exit and leave all the other settings at the default. Each character, prop, or text box can only have one enter and one exit motion applied to it within the same scene. You can also have several items in the same scene, all with different motions, though it's a good idea to limit the number of motions within a scene to no more than 10 to ensure the best playback. I'll preview my enter and exit motions by clicking the preview button. You'll see my character is added to the scene by a sliding hand and then slides off the screen a moment later. To add more than one enter-exit motion, simply select or add another item to your scene and follow the same process we just went through. I'll add another character. With multiple enter-exit motions in a scene, you can change the order with which they occur simply by selecting them in the Enter-Exit Motions list and dragging and dropping them up or down the list. The motions at the top will play first. To remove an enter-exit motion, simply select the motion you want to remove in the list and click the trash can icon. That's the end of part 1 of this tutorial. In part 2, I'll look at the settings in more detail.